Breaking news.
Drama! Yes, drama when it comes to Manchester United.
It's all kicking off.
Man United won't break the bank for him. And if Man United won't break the bank for him, they've got other targets.
Let me tell you something right now, yeah? The rest of this transfer window is about market opportunities. Market opportunities for Man United to go and get a goalkeeper. Potentially a 6 as well. That's what I really want. But what we're hearing today is Diogo Costa is subject to a bid, or his club is subject to a bid for him for 20 million euros. Galatasaray are after him for 20 million euros. I don't work at the Bureau de Change. Yeah? Shout out Delboy. I don't work there. That's about 17 million pounds. We were just trying to commit big for Carlos Baleba. Go and get him. Go and put in a bid. They're trying to get Edison. That looks like it hasn't worked. But then if Edison doesn't leave for Man City, then maybe the Donnarumma thing might not happen. Market opportunity. Get Donnarumma on loan for a season and see how it goes. Do something. We've showed our hand that we were willing to pay some sort of money for Carlos Baleba. So there's money there. We are not in a strong enough position to be getting to this stage of the window and saying, we've got money, we just don't know how to spend it. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I've been very happy with the business we've done, but we've seen what's happened with the goalkeeper situation. We've seen what happened with not getting Carlos Baleba, and we can see warning signs of what's going to happen in midfield with Bruno. We have to be ready for market opportunities. Diogo Costa, make it happen. Try, find it, do something. Look in the academy, promote someone, bring someone back off. Do something. Don't just sit and wait for the same mistakes to happen in the games that are going to cost us points. Smash a like on the video, people. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Welcome back to United View. Welcome back to the Transfer View. Big up to everyone in the chat. Subscriber-wise, look at that, on our way to 203,000 as well. That 200,000 was it's a distant memory. Do you know what I'm saying? It's
old
crazy.
news.
You know, I mean, we had road to 205. But obviously, you know, 250 is the big one. But yeah, man, we're going up in increments. But a busy morning, Owen. A busy morning.
Yes, a busy morning indeed. Good morning, folks. Good morning, chat. Good morning, UV community. Welcome back to the Transfer View. Already, we've got close to 700 people watching. Already, we're close to 150 likes. If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe. As Flex mentioned, we are going to be talking a little bit more about goalkeepers. And Costa, shockingly, has his price been revealed? Will Porto still reject that bid from Galatasaray? But does that mean maybe he is on the market? Maybe he's available for significantly cheaper than we first thought. And does that play a role if Galatasaray do actually sign him, that Edison stays at City? And if he stays at City, is Donnarumma then suddenly back on? We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Jadon Sancho. Wow. Yes, looks like he's not going to AS Roma, even though a new report suggests Roma are going to try again. They're going to keep trying. But Sancho wants to keep his options open until late on in the window, including Turkey after this window shuts. And we're also going to be talking about Amorim's possible search for a midfielder, Flex, because, of course, after the weekend, people are saying goalkeeper, midfielder. This morning, it's Tuesday, which means transfer deal sheets come out from The Athletic and some interesting tidbits about a possible pursuit for a midfielder. Maybe Amorim returning to his former club. Maybe, once again, looking for Premier League proven. So we're going to be chatting about that as well. Now, let's start off with goalkeepers. My favourite subject, Flex. That is indeed Diogo Costa. Let's talk about him because this shocked people last night. And now you could say, well, does it have to do with United necessarily? It's not us putting the bid in, this, that, and the other. Well, Diogo Costa's a goalkeeper we've been linked with for quite some time. It was rumoured or reported when we signed Andre Onana that it was a Costa versus Onana kind of race. Maybe Costa was more expensive at the time. So it's like, right, we're going to go towards Andre Onana. And that hasn't really worked out. Well, yesterday, Florian Plettenberg, or as Flex would call him, Florentine from Germany.
Florentine, if you know, you know.
An exclusive, if you know, you know, said that Galatasaray had submitted an official offer for Diogo Costa worth just 20 million euros plus add-ons. The priority for Galatasaray is still Edison. They're going after the Manchester City goalkeeper with the feeling that Donnarumma would then end up going to replace Edison, even though they just signed James Trafford. So how would that even make sense? But an agreement reportedly is not yet right. Therefore, Galatasaray are exploring alternatives. And Costa reportedly is the top option if Edison fails. An offer, an official one, has been submitted. And as we know in football, Flex, that official bids don't get put in unless they've been told by intermediaries or been told by someone that it's around this price that could get it done. Now, of course, Porto could still reject, but it leads people to question once again. The Athletic are reporting this morning that Man United are sort of weighing up the decision about if they're going to spend any more in this transfer window. But there is this feeling of, well, these sales, they look like they're still going to happen. Garnacho to Chelsea, it's taken forever. He's stonewalled going anywhere else, so he's going to go to Chelsea in this window. It's just a case of how much for, maybe 40 million plus, pure profit. That adds quite a lot. Jadon Sancho, as we'll talk about later on, going to go. We don't know how much for, but he's going to go. Yesterday, we heard reports about Terrell Malacia, or Sunday rather, we heard reports about Terrell Malacia possibly going to Roma when they were talking to United. Hjulmand, maybe he's going to go to Napoli because Lukaku's injured. Maybe he's going to go back to Atalanta. That was reported that they're still looking at him this morning. So you go, well, with all of those people going, that's more than enough to cover £17 million for...
Yeah, we can do it.
The men's from Royal Antwerp. So...
We were looking at it.
Is there any excuse to not get a keeper?
There is and there isn't, right? There is and there isn't. And the reason why I say there is and there isn't is because you can push, you can be ruthless. Look what's happening with Rasmus Højlund. You're just leaving him out of the squad. Some people are actually pushing back with the Rasmus Højlund thing and being like, the both sides of our mouths of like, someone's not good enough. We're saying, listen, just leave. But now some are like, bit harsh though, isn't it? He's in his kit. He's in the stands. Don't have to treat him like that. Still put him on the bench. And it's getting a little bit, we're blurring the lines of, oh, don't be horrible. Like it weren't his fault that he got here and there was no support. And there's some truth there. Like no one's saying it's all his fault and you're the worst, But some United fans are like, listen, man, it's a bit dread how you're treating him. When the others are like, mate, he's not good enough. We've bought Benjamin Sesko. We've been ruthless, and we need to just move out with the older midfielder. We've got to start doing this. He's had 2 years. We haven't seen enough. Sell. When Chelsea do it, when Arsenal do it, when Liverpool do it, no one's saying to Darwin Núñez, a bit harsh, isn't it? A bit harsh. Tell you what, he shows passion though, this Darwin lad. He's always, he's the fans actually like. He hasn't done anything wrong. He's just not good enough. Yeah, and Liverpool are winning titles. That's why. Do you know what I mean? So. You have to be ruthless. But my point is, yes and no, because actually someone said it at the top of the show, which we haven't really spoke about yet. It's because of the outgoings, really. And that's why I brought Rasmus into it. Because you can just say to Onana or Bayern, you're dropped. You're not in the squad. Not in the squad. You've got to leave, mate. You're not going to get minutes. But I think with a couple of weeks to go, and there's two of them, and you need one of them to leave, and to get Onana to leave now, 2 weeks left, big wages. It hasn't been a thing all summer. So who's going to come in for him? Who's going to take those wages? I think you're going to create a really difficult situation for them to have to manage. And then if it doesn't work, you've got a goalkeeper that you've told, like Nessie says, it's too late for that. Like it's probably too late to initiate. I always say you got to initiate the outgoing, and kind of it feels a little bit too late. And that's kind of counterproductive in terms of it's not too late to go, there's a market opportunity. Get Donnarumma on loan. Just try last day of the season. PSG need to shift him. He can't stay there. There. He might have to drop his wage demands for a year, or you get PSG to pay a certain amount because there was no move. Yeah. So they're in that situation because he can't stay there. But if he's already
written a goodbye letter.
He's written a goodbye letter.
He's posted. He's not going back.
Play for them again. He can't. He's not going back. Exactly.
No.
And he's not a free agent. We have to remember that he's under contract for another year. And it's a World Cup year, and he's Italy's number one. So there's something there where, like with the Garnacho thing, which like Chelsea going to come late for us. We could do that for them, but who is going to come in and let us off the hook when you speak about our keepers? If you say Altay Bayern is available on the market, I came from Fenerbahce, didn't he? But like, what does that look like with 2 weeks to go? Onana, high-profile goalkeeper. Does he go, no problem, my friend, I'll speak to my agent now, I'll go Saudi within a week? Does he do that? Or it's like, my friend, I have my contract, no problem, I'll fight it out with whoever you bring. I back myself. And I back the financial situation here that all I need to do is just say, nah, I'm good. You're not going to force me out. So that's why I think it's looking a bit, but I'm with you. I kind of don't want to hear any excuses. I'm kind of like, guys, this is what your job is. You got to find a way. Because, but also, did we mess up? Because the neutral zone, I want to ask you this and the chat. This is our fault because we've spent so heavily in the forward area. A lot of people are saying you spent over 200 million, right, on 3 forwards, which, okay, you're rubbish at forwards. But if I said to you, should we have spent some of that on a goalkeeper, but you take out Benjamin, you take out Šeško, Cunha, or Bruma, which one for a goalkeeper? What would you say?
I would probably still say no, honestly. And look, and I'm a big, obviously look, me goalkeepers union, and it is a priority position, and I do get that. But we saw it at the weekend, even though we lost and even though we didn't score, having that ability to attack and look dangerous. We will have in this season, more often than not, we'll have the ability to outscore the opponent. And I know it's because that game at the weekend specifically was decided by goalkeepers. So it's like, if we'd have had a goalkeeper, we wouldn't have had that defeat. But that is against a team that you expect to be competing for the title this season. More often than not, I think, if we continue playing like that against, mid-table teams, bottom half teams, we win the majority of those games, and I think we'll be okay. And I think that's what Man United are weighing up. I think they're weighing up kind of like risk management, basically. I think they're weighing up risk management. They're going, look at Liverpool on Friday when they played Bournemouth, when they just go, look, if you outscore the team, will be enough. More often than not, that'll be enough. I just think that actually it has proven, like you said, that there is this there's these market opportunities that are starting to rear their heads now. And you want to talk about which one, could Onana go, could Bayern go, like we're going to talk about with Jadon Sancho. But if you get that the Turkish window closes later than the vast majority of other transfer windows. So you could even still have a situation where Bayern ends up going back to Turkey in like September or something like that. If like you said, it came down to like the last day of the window, there's like Donnarumma is still available, and United go, we can get him, and they do it, and then they say, Bayern, you play for the Turkish national team, you can find a club in Turkey, can't you? Surely you can. They'd be like, yeah, probably. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I could do that.
It might still be something like that. I think a goalkeeper is the difference between us winning those really big games this season. And it depends, I suppose, what Manchester United's ambitions are. Samuel Lutkos said prior to the game on Sunday that privately United's aim this season was to finish in the top 6. Getting a goalkeeper, that might be the difference in getting Champions League football and us being in the Europa League next season. Because you're talking about those that's when you talk about fine margin games. You know what I mean? You're talking about that. I think though, but I wouldn't sacrifice. I wouldn't go, I'd have got a goalkeeper and not got Šeško.
Have two of those. Exactly.
We've seen us play without a number 9 for a couple of games now in the last few weeks. That would not be sustainable to get higher up the table this season.
And we can't convince ourselves that it could be Joshua Zirkzee like for the whole season as the main 9 because we decided to get a goalkeeper. Like it's not going to be good enough. At the moment now we've got 2 options because it would be Zirkzee and Šeško. And don't write off Zirkzee. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about him a little bit later in the show about the him not for sale thing. But James brought up something on the red carpet. I don't think you would have seen it yet. And he was basically saying, he weren't saying to do it, but he was just talking about it as a thing that maybe like given more games, Bayern might make less mistakes because he's never actually been given a run. So maybe that could be the thing. Because actually, just to look at it on all sides, and I know people say, Flex, don't do this. I'm just talking about the whole thing. All right. He made one mistake, which obviously cost us the game. Essentially, it probably would have been 0-0 had he not made that mistake because he didn't really have to make a save after that because we played so well as a team. But the rest of what he had to do was quite crisp. Like you talk about how good distribution has to be. You need a goalkeeper with all of this. And when you see that yesterday or on Sunday, you go, well, it wasn't. I mean, KG said that, his distribution was as close to elite as he's seen from a goalkeeper. Like he was saying how good it was. KG was just saying it in that mold.
Couple of those passes, yeah. And this comes from someone who
they were nervy. They were nervy.
Yeah, no, a couple of those passes was like the outcome looks like it's a really great pass. A couple of them, I almost know for a fact I go, you did not mean that. A couple of them, a couple of those ones where it was like it looked like a
Down
low
the
pass
middle,
through the
flat.
middle,
Yeah.
and you would go, oh, great pass. You go,
Yeah.
I know that you did not
You're
mean
not
that.
sure. Oh, you're not saying not sure. You're saying I know you didn't.
A couple of them he did not mean. Fact.
So there you go.
Mean.
So
a couple of
this
them
is what my point is.
Not mean.
But then there was a few that happened,
but
that
they paid
were like,
off. You know.
Yeah, they paid off. But there was a few that happened that weren't necessarily because of his amazing kicking. There was a few that happened by design because the patterns of playing out from the back are there because we're a better coach. Because how many times did we punch it into the player just in front of the D or the edge of the box, and then it went out to Lenny Yoro first time? Whether that would be De Ligt who did it. Yeah. I think Bruno might have done it once, and the whole crowd were like, "Oh," because we're just not used to seeing that. But that was a consistent theme.
That was one. He like
physically
down the middle.
Bruno did
a brilliant touch, and you go, "I know you didn't mean it. It looks great, but it's one of those ones when you do it, you go, great pass. Of course, I meant it.
It didn't look quite.
But some passes were good, but
and then he did one to Cunha.
Not elite. It's not elite.
No,
I wouldn't.
He did one to Cunha. And what I did think was good about what he did is that he went long to the right areas. So when he went long, obviously when the keeper kicks it long, it's not a pass. You're just putting it into an area, and you say to your teammates, you need to go and flip in, compete for that, and win the seconds or the first.
Hit the touchline.
And I think he did that well with both feet. Surprisingly, do you know what? It's weird, and I'm just talking about it properly. Like when I saw him at Arsenal away, remember that same game? He couldn't kick the ball. Like he was spooning it out, like it kept curving out, and I'm like, oh my god, he can't kick. Like he actually can't kick the ball. But that wasn't what I saw. So listen, I'm not trying to say Bayern is wicked, and listen, I think we've got him all wrong. You know, he could be our number one. But back to what James was saying, he was saying if you give him a bit of confidence, you give him a run of games, because all he's ever had was rustiness. Is there something brewing, Owen? Is there something going on?
Do you know what? No, it's one of those ones. No, it's one of those ones where it's perfect for what we're talking about. Like it couldn't be more perfect for what we're talking about. I want to just get this up on. I want to get this up on the screen.
Yeah, that's why I love it. You can't.
Exactly. Comes from Frank from our Amarim era on social media, and it says there regarding Emi Martinez, the deal was very close. Emi Martinez to Manchester United. It comes from Gaston Nidal, whose sources, when it comes to Argentinian football and Argentinian football players, is usually spot on. He said the deal was very close, but the coaching staff, especially Amarim, wanted him, and Martinez knew that Amarim wanted him. Amarim could not convince the United board it was important to spend on a good goalkeeper.
So I mean, this is board. It's board driven. It's like they're deciding that we don't need to spend in that area, or like, it's expensive. This is what I'm saying. It's about money, and they don't think they can get it done, and they don't think it's enough of a priority. And that doesn't make sense to me that they don't think it's a priority. Maybe it comes into this to say, listen, I was going to say you've got two decent goalkeepers there. We've already realised that we kind of don't, but they're thinking get something out of Bayern. Do something you do have to coach your way sometimes. Like
in that one though, with Emi Martinez, reportedly the price that was being quoted was like 35, 40 million, wasn't it as well? So it's one of those ones where if you go back to it and you go, well, it's how much was necessarily being asked, really, wasn't it? Because they're saying Amarim could not convince the United board it was important to spend on a good goalkeeper. Maybe he couldn't convince them that 35 to 40 million pounds was enough to spend on a good goalkeeper, which actually we all as a fan base at the time did largely agree on that. Emi Martinez, 32 years old, 35, 40 million, because he signed a new deal, didn't he? It's like, that probably isn't worth it, actually. And that's why we're talking about Diogo Costa this morning, going, Diogo Costa, 20 million, that is worth it. Bloody hell, that is worth it. Or Lamens from Antwerp for like 17 million quid. That is worth it. And you can go get goalkeepers on the cheap. And I keep using this example for Villa at the weekend. The person who debutized for Emi Martinez, Bizarre, he was like mid-30s, £5 million from the French league. And he had a good game. He was comfortable, you know what I mean? Because he was just doing the basics. And I think he cost him like 5 million. And look, he is a backup goalkeeper. But this narrative that you have to go spend 35, 40 million on a goalkeeper just isn't true. Like it's not. You can go and find them. If we had an average goalkeeper in the sticks right now, and you go, look, he's not amazing. He's certainly not the best goalkeeper in the league, but playing crosses, with those kind of situations at the weekend, he's strong, doesn't get bullied at corners, decent shot stopper. He's not going to save everything, but decent shot stopper. He's not Allison or anything like that, but he's all right. That improves us. You know what I mean? That is better than what we've got. I saw you on AFTV saying Tom Heaton doesn't make that mistake. That's what we're basically saying there then is the vast majority of goalkeepers don't make that mistake if they've played regularly in England or they've just got a bit of experience about them. So you can go out and find a goalkeeper that's just average for the rest of the season. It doesn't have to be Donnarumma. It doesn't have to be Diogo Costa. It can be someone else. So that's when you go to actually how much work and due diligence have they done on on that position this summer? Because if you did have a list of targets and with the money that we think is incoming, surely there would be enough to sort of push for that. And like you said, it maybe is less about actually who's available and who they want to go for, more about, we don't really want to get have 4 senior goalkeepers at the club. We're kind of looking just, one would have to move on. And it kind of feels like that. And I know James has mentioned that quite a few times, hasn't he? Saying that, well, one of them would have to go. And it doesn't look like any of them are going to go. Therefore, it doesn't look like we're going to buy them. I don't think it's going to, again, define our season. I don't think we're going to get to the end of the season and be like, we finished 15th because we didn't have a half decent goalkeeper. I think it might, though, be the difference between maybe us making Champions League football, maybe us making Europa League football. Because at those points, you're talking about you're missing out by, look, last year, Aston Villa missed out on goal difference of finishing in the Champions League spaces, right?
That could be the 3 points we just gave away today.
Exactly.
Yesterday,
exactly. So it's those kind of fine margins. And to be fair, I think if say we finish 6th and we missed out on Champions League football by goal difference, Amarim won't go anywhere. You know what I mean? Man United will take that. So he'd get a goalkeeper that summer. But it depends how high they're aiming.
So we're not buying into maybe getting a run and look at that's one thing we haven't tried. Is he more bit more sound than Onana? Every time he's coming, we haven't seen it, have we? He has had some good games, but we can't start to convince ourselves that, I'll tell you what, it will make him number 1 for this year at least then. We tried it with Onana. Maybe we're not going to get a goalkeeper. So is it better to just carry on with Onana then? Better the devil, obviously, better to get a keeper, but if we can't or we don't, what I'm saying is there any mileage for the? You can only deal with what you got, right? Is there any mileage in that? Looking at what Bayern looks like for an extended run. I mean, Fulham will tell us all what we need to know. If Onana comes straight back in, then it doesn't matter. It
depends how fit Onana is. I think Onana will probably play against Fulham. I think it'll go back to what it was last season, unless Onana has his run, which is very possible he will, because he'll make mistakes this year. If he has that thing he does where he does it in batches, where for 5 games he's just throwing the ball in the back of the net, then maybe Bayern will get a bit of a run again. But I think it will just be as it was last season, which is Onana plays the senior games, and then when we get to next summer, it'll be it's a year less on his contract. He's more sellable now. We've already, you wouldn't think, hopefully not, next summer we're going to be looking for more 10s and more strikers because we've just got them, right? So the priority, you would think, next summer, maybe even January, might be midfield and goalkeeping. And actually, to be fair, I suppose there is something to think about in January is do United pounce on market opportunities then, depending on funds available and what have you. Obviously, we did sign Patrick Dorgu in January, and now he's quite a key part of our team, isn't he? We're going, bloody hell, he's playing really, really well. He's a big difference on that left-hand side versus what we had, which was nothing. We didn't have anything on the left-hand side, did we? As a wing-back. So, yeah, I think I don't know. As the days goes on,
120 grand a week. He's on 120 grand a week. Bonus is 80 grand. I don't know.
And he would have signed probably a 5-year deal, and that was in 2023.
Yeah, he finishes in 28. He finishes in 28.
So at the end of the season, he'll have 2 years left. It's a lot easier to selling someone with 2 years left on 120k a week. That's much more easier than 3 years. Yeah. Bear in mind, again, we bought Andre Onana a year after he had signed for Inter Milan on a free. That's how bad we are.
Yeah,
that's how bad we are. So. Yeah, I don't know. But if Galatasaray signed Diogo Costa for 17 million quid. That is unbelievable business.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah,
business.
Definitely. It would be massively brilliant business. Amnon says Sancho and Anthony not being sold is effing us up. I don't know, we're trying to work on that. We'll talk about that in a minute. Team Nathan says, morning, guys. My fear is there will be no further signings as we are going for Believer next summer, and Amorim seems to be set on Onana and Altai. And VK says, we let Matej Kova go on a cheap. How could he could have been our backup? He could have been good backup on competition. Bring Cam and Marcel to trial, saying we need ball-playing modern keeper. It has not gone to plan.
Well,
since
look, I did the match view with Marcel when De Gea came back to Old Trafford. It was kind of appropriate that he was on that one. And to be fair, he is kind of, I do agree with what he's saying, whereby two things can be true at the same time, that moving De Gea on was still the right call, but it's about who you replace him with. The best example is, like we saw at the weekend, Mateus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo played so well, nobody was mentioning Alejandro Garnacho or Marcus Rashford. They're not even getting brought up because we're so happy with the replacements, and we're like, we feel like it's an upgrade. Oh, that's so amazing. That's so much better. You only start begrudging the decision to let go the person when the person who's replaced them isn't good enough or isn't better than the person that's just gone. That's the main issue. So De Gea moving on, okay, cool, that's fine. I think it's probably the right time. The way it was handled was not good, but the biggest crime there isn't necessarily moving De Gea on, it's who we replaced them with, because we didn't replace them with quality. Yeah,
it was all wrong. Likes, we haven't really had a big push. Actually, we're at nearly 2K watching live, just over 1,800. So big up to each and every single one for that. And we're just under 500 likes down, so 450 likes. So let's push that to 750, man. That's what we got to do. We got to push that up. Get your members chats in, get your super chats in. We'll obviously get those read out for you, and of course, get involved in the chat like a lot of you are doing right now. Let's go to the chat. Actually, it's not just about members chats and paid chats. Let's go into the chat. Fex says Bayern is starting the next games. That's the reality. That's what's going to be interesting. At Fulham, who starts? Because it's not like Andre Onana wasn't even in the squad. Dimitri says, what happened to the John Victor links? He was right there for 10 million. Just nothing. The Grandpa 70 says that would have happened to De Gea also. As in what, that mistake that happened.
The corner. We did see, we've seen quite a few De Gea corner issues.
Dubs Red for Life says, yes, De Gea was a legend, but replacement is key. We didn't get it right with Onana. Get Pickford in, vocal, brave, and better than all three keepers. Current keeper. A lot of people saying Pickford, like Pickford's that guy that people just tend not to see. They do that what Owen just did there. That's the Pickford, but he's been a consistent goalkeeper for ages. Just because he stayed at Everton, and he is. I think he's a competent goalkeeper. I think what it is you just wouldn't want to invest into that. If he was just your keeper already, you go, he's all right, he does the job. But if you're looking to go in a new direct, let's change the keepers and let's go. I don't think you go for Pickford.
Well, let's be.
He's definitely better than what we got. Loads of people are better than what we got.
I know there's obviously Pickford, like I said, a Premier League keeper and Everton for a long time. If the season goes as you would expect, I can't see how Thomas Tuchel doesn't have James Trafford as the England number one going into the World Cup. I know Pickford's got obviously competition experience, but James Trafford, if he's going to be Manchester City's number one goalkeeper this season, and City have the season we're expecting, based on that one performance, which I know is still a lot to go, but
James Trafford might not even be. They're trying to get bloody Donnarumma.
That's what I mean. It depends what happens with that. But if James Trafford is City's number one for all of this season,
and they win the league and shit,
then he would have to be England's number one. It's also as well as he's 22. And you got him. He's your next goalkeeper set for the next 10, 15 years.
But Tuchel doesn't care about that shit. He just thinks of the experience, and I can't afford to mess it up. I'm only here for one World Cup. Tuchel strikes me as the person who would probably go with the tried and tested. Actually, I don't think he's caring about investing into youth, man. I don't know. It's an interesting one. It is really interesting. Well, what we'll see is, I bet you in the qualifiers, and because obviously you can't just put him in number one if he ain't been. And in the qualifiers, James Trafford ain't done enough to even get in ahead of Pickford. So how's he going to build up?
And it's It's funny how that works, though, because the move, isn't it? It's because it's the move, though, as well, isn't it? It's like, well, last season he was, Championship and whatever.
No,
now
Prem.
if he's
so you need to see him play in the Prem
Champions League. You know what I mean? Playing in the Champions League latter stages, like it's a different. You know what I mean? It's different. Even someone like Dean Henderson, that's very true. Dean Henderson,
because it's a Tuchel recalled Henderson, mate. He'll choose Pickford.
if it was between Henderson and Pickford, that's when you would go, look, they're pretty close. You'd go with tournament experience. You just feel like if James Trafford has a season where he plays...
No, I think he means Jordan Henderson.
Oh, Jordan Henderson. Oh, right.
Yeah, because he brought Jordan Henderson back and it shows that, mate, I just care about the old guard. Like, he don't care about the future. He ain't trying to build England.
I'm not going to lie. Yeah. For someone I gave a lot of Southgate shit. Yeah, when I did see the Jordan Henderson and I saw that first squad, I did sort of go.
Exactly. And you got Nick Pope, who's experienced, and you got Dean Henderson, who's experienced. So I can't see it. I think he'll say it's too early. There's no way for me he's going to gamble on Trafford, like especially in the qualifiers. He definitely ain't going to play him in them. Or this next international break, it'll be Pickford and goal, and the one after that, and the one after that.
I think Trafford will make the squad.
It made the squad.
But like you said, it will depend. Yeah, maybe we'll see.
Shenanigans says Romano said last night the Costa news is rubbish. Okay, I have to look at that one.
Rubbish.
It's rubbish. Right, Sancho to Roma off. He doesn't want to go there.
Speaking of rubbish, well, what a segue. Yes. So to be fair, I would say credit to the Manchester United fans, because when these reports and rumours were coming out that Roma, £20 million bid, maybe a loan with an obligation to buy, everyone went, I'll believe it when I see it. Not necessarily that the offer wasn't real, but more so I'll believe Sancho accepting that deal when I see it.
Exactly.
So we found out yesterday, obviously Fabrizio Romano said that Sancho had said no. Obviously United had said yes, but Sancho had said no. He was basically keeping his options open to as late in the window as possible. Apparently the likes of Inter, Juventus, and Roma, of course, have been interested. Turkey was a no, but if Sancho hasn't gone anywhere by the close of the transfer window, then he'd be open to it. A bit of an Osimhen situation like last year. Gianluca Di Marzio said, though, despite this setback, Roma will try again today to change Jadon Sancho's mind. Manchester United has made it clear to the player that this is the only truly serious offer. Gasperini, of course, the former Atalanta head coach, has spoken with him several times to try and convince him. Fabrizio Romano saying this morning that Manchester United are aware of Jadon Sancho's plan to consider different proposals after rejecting Roma on Monday. United insist for Sancho to try and find a solution as soon as possible.
Of course, United insist of that.
Well, yeah, because they're going like, look, 20 million. And maybe this, you know what it is? It's a bit like that Rashford situation with Barcelona, and maybe similar to sort of Garnacho as well, where I don't think maybe necessarily Sancho has his eyes set on a specific club, i.e. I only want to go back to Dortmund or anything like that. I think he's maybe trying to feel like, well, basically, look, who's going to get closest to my contract that I'm on right now? That's the reality.
But he still would have been subsidised to actually get his money. Like if it
was a loan,
if he went on loan, I don't know. He said, obviously, we don't know the details of what it was, so it could have been terrible financials. But we would have heard by now if Man United were asking for him to take a wage cut. I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah,
so I think any loan that he gets is going to be between the two teams. If they take 70, we take 30, etc., etc. Whatever, like even look at the Rashford thing. Wages and all that.
I suppose maybe it's not necessarily the thing now, because like you said, it might be a case of Roma take X percent, United will cover the rest, or what have you. But if there's an obligation, and this time it's truly an obligation,
I don't want to do that,
and it's truly an obligation, then already, because remember, this is what didn't happen last time. Last time there was a thing of, well, Sancho hasn't even agreed a contract with Chelsea of what that permanent transfer is going to look like.
It's just a temporary contract.
With the time that's still coming left in the window, Roma could be like, we can absolutely figure out what the obligation would look like once that gets triggered. You're a Roma player. This is what your contract's going to look like at Roma. And he might have a look at that contract and go, well, I'm going to be going from earning this to this. I don't like it. I don't like that. And
we hate it.
United now are trying to go like, mate, there's no one else in. I know there's light interest, Juventus, whatever, but we're telling you, this is the only offer we've got this summer.
Yeah.
So take it, please.
His agent will be saying we'll get more. The agent was saying we'll get other offers.
Yeah.
And exactly that. Like, listen, as from our perspective, it's annoying because we're saying we need to shift him. From his perspective, guys, it is telling that he's prioritizing the bag and the business side of it over, I need to reignite my career. It definitely is saying that, but he's got one more year left on this money. And he's looking at it, like you said, that's an obligation. He goes to Roma, plays well, then he's obligated to sign there. What does that contract look like? Yeah, I think if it was just a straight loan, he'd probably do it. You know what I mean? So it's going to be hard to lock in something for Sancho because we want to do it permanently and get money for him now. I know that we can say he shouldn't have to get the chance to feel comfortable. What does he get to say? He gets to say because it's his career and it's his contract, and we gave it to him. So it's just going to be crap. Like short of making him a free agent, which we obviously can't afford to do because we'd have to pay him off the whole thing. We obviously can't afford to do that. We need to get some money for him, so we're not going to do that. We just have to wait. This is the shit bit, innit? The players hold the power. Garnacho has been able to say, I don't want to go to anywhere else, only Chelsea. Rashford was able to say, I don't want to go into anywhere else, only Barca. Now, luckily for us, Barca got their skates on, and it wasn't actually, by first game of pre-season on Leeds, that was the here we go, wasn't it? That was, he was traveling to Barca. So it didn't take that long. That was like the 19th of July, wasn't it? I think it was 18th of July off the top of my head, because I just remember when that game was. So that got done quite early. But these other two, even including Anthony, but for different reasons, but these other two are like, nah, I'm picking where I'm going. I'm in control of this. Man United can't rush me. I know, especially now they know that we need players and it's on them. And listen, the relationship's severed. They're not going to help us out, are they? They're not going to. They're going to do what's best for them and what's best for them only. So, yeah, man, I expected this. I said the whole time that Garnacho is going to go late in the window. Sancho late in the window. To be fair, I thought Rashford would be going late in the window. I thought they all would be late in the window. But we still haven't got a significant sale because Garnacho is the one who holds the key. We need that Chelsea one to go through, and they ain't coming through to like the last 5 days of the window. I think it's gonna be really late.
No, and you're right. Well, the Sancho thing, someone mentioned it in the chat. I think it was show. It is true. It does show where obviously Sancho's priorities are. Like you said, with a World Cup year. Yeah, I think players be like, right, I need to get my future sorted. And then, I suppose credit to Rashford in that sense of like it got done early because he's thinking because
he'll be on a plane.
Because he's like, I don't want to miss out. He missed out on the Euros. He doesn't want to miss out on a World Cup because you never know when it's going to be your next one, particularly as you get older. So you would think with Sancho be like, oh, now I'm playing for England in a while, but new manager there, I can get back in, and it just doesn't feel like that, does it? It feels like that's just not his interest and in his desire. With the contract thing, it's one of those ones where it's like, you can almost understand it of going, well, he knows he's not going to get that wage anywhere else, so he's going to try and get every last bit of money from it, which is his prerogative. But it's just, once again, it's the current regime still having to deal with the mistakes of the prior regime, isn't it? Big contract, not the right profile of player to bring in, not the right personality of player. It's a hangover from that culture that's been managed to sort of fester for the last decade plus of sort of entitlement at Manchester United. And these exits because of it are always really, really difficult. You just get to the point where you just find a way to get it done. Once you got it done and it's over with, then we just don't have to think about it again. I was thinking this a few minutes ago. I can't remember the last time that I felt like this. Like the game on Sunday, obviously it's a big game because we need to win. We didn't win our first one, but I'm looking forward to watch Man United play again.
Yeah,
I can't say the last time I felt that. I'm actually like, I'm going, I'm looking forward to Sunday again. Why? Because I think I'll see a good performance. And that team, the weekend, the vast majority of that team, I like that team. You know what I mean? I like that team. I like that effort. The full-time whistle went, and a lot of those players on the pitch, they like literally went down to the ground because they run for 90 plus minutes, and they'd given it everything. And you were there at Old Trafford, and it was loud. And I saw even Lee Judges on AFTV.
Yeah, he was saying,
he said he was like, that's the best atmosphere I've had. I've been at Old Trafford, seen at Old Trafford for a long time, going as an away fan. Talking about the Man United fans there, because I think the crowd can like that team, the vast majority of that team. So I'm looking forward to it the weekend. And with those sort of other players that are on their way out, they're the sort of less likable ones or what have you. It's just like at this stage, I'm just like, whatever. I just want it to get done. Even if it was literally like you said, it's a loan. We save 50% on your wages for a year and you leave on a free. I don't care now. I really don't. You know, we're not when we're talking about fundraising. I mean, it was nice, wasn't it? The idea of potentially getting 20 million or 25 for Sancho.
Yeah, and we're going to accept straight away anything along those
Yeah.
lines. We're going to, even if it's like you say, I know Marcel jokes with the 5 million, whatever it is, but
it might end up like that.
Stage. It's got to the stage where, if we have to pay him off, or he's like, I'm not going there unless I'm getting my money. Go, right, okay, tell you what, we'll drop that fee to 12.5 million and we'll pay you off the whatever. Or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Marcel did drop an all-timer yesterday because he says money isn't real. So
just print more of it, mate.
Just print more of it. Yeah, we were saying he's really close to saying that, but he's like, it's not real. Money's not real. So, you know, and some people are saying, listen, he's right. You know, central bank, it's, you know, it's not, it's made up money in the economy. And so it's one of those, but it's like, but I said to him, so Marcel, I said, so when you
pay your rent,
when you get, you know, you exchange your services for your employer at the end of the month,
exactly.
And they give you something. I goes, what do they get? What is that then? And he said, energy. So.
If it was one of those ones where they say, look, we're not going to give you anything. Why? It's not real anyway. I mean, if you're going to be sort of very deep and philosophical about it, it's, you know, when you're looking on your mobile banking app or whatever, and you do sort of go, these are just numbers. Like,
they're just numbers. They're
just numbers.
Yeah. But you can take those numbers and transfer those numbers to there to buy a ticket for a flight, and if you don't have the right numbers, you can't do it.
Exactly. Even the idea, like, because nowadays, like, you don't, like, cash isn't as much. You don't, you know, especially if you're like in like big cities like London or whatever. Like, no one carries cash or whatever anymore. Like, no, it's just numbers.
That's what I said to him. I said, and now you're tapping. He goes, there you go, Fleck.
Yeah.
There you go. It's not even real. He goes, they went from paper. It's printed on paper. It's not real. Then it's on card. Then it's on card. And then now you can tap. It's not real.
Now it's just, you know, electronic. It is weird. You know what I mean? It is, because when you do think about it like that, because sometimes I do that. I look at that and I go, they're just numbers.
It's not just numbers. Yeah. Sometimes you
numbers.
go,
and like you said, have I got the numbers today?
Yeah, have I got?
Yeah.
What does this?
Have I got the?
So you can say it's not real, but it's very needed, because if you don't have them numbers, you're not going to be able to do.
If you don't have the numbers, yeah.
But maybe he's right. Maybe money isn't real. Like Marcel always says something mad, and then you go, you know what though? That's always something. But that was his new thing, anyway. That was his new thing. Kristen, big up to you. Says, I hope Sancho gets married. His wife divorces him and takes everything from him. Jesus.
Bloody
hell. I mean, that's a bit harsh, isn't it, Kristen?
It's a bit harsh.
I know he's, you know, holding us to rap.
Started off nice.
But I know. Well, he's just sweet, isn't he, the rapper? So he's doing up a madness. He's got the tattoo already. They're not even engaged, I don't think. But
he got a tattoo?
Bro, Sancho's moving mad.
Mate, you know,
he's been with this girl. He's been a rapper. Yeah, he's with this rapper girl. Yeah, sweetie. And bro, he's got the tattoo in the back of the ear, bro. He's been Sancho's loved up. Yeah, this is why they're saying he needs the contract, because she's got bread. He needs to keep up, man. Last contract,
middle
big
name,
money.
Tattooed behind left ear. Bloody hell.
Mad. So Sancho's loved up, so he needs to secure the bag. You know what I mean? He wants to set up his family, and Owen's found it. There you go.
Yeah, I found it. I'm trying to find the right thing I was going to click. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Jaden, man. He's in the tattoo parlor. He's on it. So, boy, good for him.
It's a risk. It's always a risk.
Listen, that's what he's on.
What do they do if they break up? Do one of those get those bits of tape that sticks your ears back?
Gotcha.
So you cover up like that.
Mad laser removal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, so
you even
it's a big risk.
Turn
it into something else, maybe.
Turn that into something else. I don't know.
No, I don't know. So this is why it's like there's more things going on. Yeah, this move. Yeah. Maybe he wants to go MLS. Maybe he's waiting for LA FC to come in. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Avenor says, "I'm glad Marcel is a pump and not my."
Your best thing. You know what the best thing is with that? Yeah, is that Avenor's meant to write pimp, but he's the U's close to the I.
Oh yeah.
So he's gone.
So luckily he censored himself, because he's always
and he's gone with pump.
Yeah. I'm an old man. Shout out Lil Yo-Yo. Lil Yo-Yo says, Owen, I think you've loved Sweetie's music. Swati's.
Is that how you...
How'd you actually say it? How'd you pronounce it, guys?
I was
I don't
say...
really listen to her music. I'm not gonna lie, I don't listen to her music. I'm not really on it. Like a lot of the new rap, I don't really like all Lotto and all that. I'm not really on it. I'm just not. But how do you even pronounce her name? Is it Swati's?
Let me get on my Spotify. I'll get on my Spotify. I'll do a live listen. I'm not going to play it, obviously, on the stream, but I will listen to it. I'll listen to it now. And
let us know about the track list. Like, what's some of the names of the song?
Okay, what's the most popular song she's got on here? All right, it's called "Best Friend," featuring Doja Cat.
Oh, Doja Cat. You know Doja Cat, isn't it? You heard of her? No. All right,
I've heard of Cat. I'll press play.
Oh, it's just Sweetie. All right, cool. What are you saying?
I'm going to fast forward. The intro's a bit long here.
Just get into it. Yeah.
No, I don't want to listen to it. I've already started.
Nah, you can't do that. And you can't do that.
All right, I'll carry on.
Straight away.
No, it's not for me.
Nah, not for you.
No.
Already straight away.
I just, I saw. I'm at the point where it said that my best friend. She a real bad bitch. Got her own money. I'm not going to carry on.
All right. I'm listening to Botham right now.
Right.
She said a rapper, athlete, I need both of them. So she just said, I just caught one lyric and it happened to be that. Rapper or athlete, I need both of them. So Sancho, watch out, brother. She's got the athlete, bro. So yeah, and that song was like 2 weeks ago, just released. So rapper, athlete, I need both of them. So boy, she needs both. So Sancho is you and one other, bro. Just like we need both. We need a keeper and a six. We need both of them. Wait there, Sancho. Is this what you're doing? I've never actually listened to a Sweetie song. The first one I've listened to is both of them, and she's saying in the hook. How many want me? Like 4 of them. All right.
Let me try something. Let me try another one. What's another popular one? My Type. There we go.
She said rapper. That one's crazy. If you're talking about red flag, Sancho is literally getting with a girl. Yeah, who the first line she says in the thing is, I need a rapper and athlete. I need both of them. She just got him mad,
mate. I literally, because I'm not very good at I went on to this one, My Type. Yeah. And I went, okay. I didn't really understand what was said there. So let me go on the lyrics. The second one, I can't even read out loud.
No, you won't be able to. Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, definitely don't do that.
I can't.
Let me see what's going on My Type. When was that? That was 6 years ago. So that must be one of her biggest tunes, 170 million. Oh, cool.
I can't. Let me see what I find. A load of it, I can't read out.
No, don't. Yeah, absolutely don't. Let me see what's going on My Type. Oh, hold on. Oh, this song from the Sierra Goodies. Oh, that's sweet. I have heard this song. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, don't worry about that tune. I've heard that tune. I didn't even know. See, I've heard that tune, but I didn't know who ever sung it because I'm not really on that. But yeah, that was taken from.
How could they play this? Like on, if you were in your car, you couldn't listen to that.
No,
this is very post-Watershed.
We do you listen to there's a lot of songs that get.
No, but I meant on the radio.
Oh no! They play the edited version.
Yeah, but this is
no, but she'll change the lyrics.
Flex.
Like there'll be but if you put in you listen to it. No, listen to it. Put in Sweetie My Type and put clean. Clean, and you'll hear how song. Yeah, because it's so mad. But there's it's just put clean, and you'll hear how it's cleaned up for radio. It'd be like My Boy or something,
Oh, ain't it? My Type. I can't even find a clean version.
No, there must be. There always is, because that would have been a big radio hit.
My Type clean version. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's this clean audio version.
There you go, clean audio version. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, rich hitter. Yeah, So, she's changing up the words. She's changing up the words.
I mean, at this point, it's a different song. It's a different song.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, it has to be. It has to be.
It's just different
but there you go. People are saying this is a football show. But it links back to Sancho because, like I said, his new missus wants a rapper and an athlete. She needs both of them. So that's mad. So I'm saying. Well, there you go.
Midfielders,
go.
very quickly. Midfielders. The Athletic in their transfer deal sheet this morning did say that Adam Wharton at Crystal Palace is another midfielder who could come into the reckoning for Manchester United this summer, but Manchester United will carefully weigh up whether to spend more money at a time where they need to make sales. Carlos Baleba, so you would say, well, why are we going after Baleba? Well, Baleba presented a special opportunity, they're calling, and making a move for a midfielder is not guaranteed. So kind of what we theorized, Flex, that idea that United would have dipped into next year's budget if they'd gone with Baleba, that's basically what they would have done there. But you would say, is Adam Wharton, maybe could you dip into next year's budget? And as we spoke about on the Trinity on Friday with James, there is an appreciation at Manchester United, of course, for Morten Hjulmand. Of course, he's the captain of Sporting. He scored a brilliant goal, actually, in Amrim's final game as a Sporting manager, head coach. So we could go after him, I suppose. But I don't know. That one feels like, I don't know if I see us getting him from Sporting, to be honest with you. I feel like that one's unlikely. The Adam Wharton one, maybe. You never know. It depends if we get any. If we got any sort of Spurs, that's what I mean. If we got any indication from Palace that they went, actually, he would be for sale, then I think maybe United would look at it. But I think that's unlikely.
They ain't going to do that. Eminem says, Rashi's earned flexibility with 400 plus games, while Sancho's offered nothing. Yeah, it's true. Players like him should be forced when it comes to moves, in my opinion. Old Trafford, what's your take on Gary Neville's Monday Night Football comments? What did he say? Is that what he said? What did he say on MNF?
He said.
Did he say that? Was he cussing?
This is the article. Gary Neville has told Marcus Rashford to concentrate on Barcelona rather than comment on Ruben Amorim's work at Manchester United. Rashford had some damning criticism for United, claiming they couldn't hide behind the excuse of being a club in transition. To start a transition, you have to make a plan and stick to it, he said on last week on the Rest is Football podcast. This is where I speak about being realistic about what your situation is. We've had that many different managers, ideas and strategies in order to win that you end up in no man's land. His words came up during a conversation on Sky Sports Monday Night Football as Gary Neville spoke about Amorim's situation. This season, I think, is the manager to watch is the United manager, Neville said. All eyes are on him. Can he do it? He had a horrible start to his United career. He didn't want the job partway through the season. Presenter David Jones interjected, do you not think because of that he gets this season, whatever happens? Oh, no, I don't think it'll be that easy, responded Neville. I think if he's down in the bottom half of the table, he'll be under massive pressure. Again, Jones interjected, this time asking, what about what Marcus Rashford said the other day, that United have got to come up with a plan and stick with it somewhere, haven't they? Neville held up his hand, waved it, and somewhat damningly remarked, let's ignore that because I don't want to go into Marcus Rashford comments tonight. He was there at the club for 10 years and had his opportunity to impact the club. Ruben Amorim this year, I think he'll do a good job. Marcus should concentrate on Barcelona.
I mean, it's just right to reply and stuff, isn't it? Like, I think Neville's always going to protect the club. He's always going to stick up for the club. But I don't necessarily think what Rashford said was wrong. There was just one part of it when he said the transition hasn't started yet. I didn't agree with that point because it has started. I don't think what either of them said they are wrong, to be honest.
That's
what I'm saying. Both things are right. I Rashford, him saying that Rashford's been there for 10 years and had the chance to do X, Y, Z. Exactly. You've had the chance, and when the going got tough, you made some bad decisions. You dropped your standards professionally. And that's not me just making up things. You talk about the Belfast incident. You had some mishaps. And then on the pitch, you were clearly visibly struggling, wouldn't run, not there. But Rashford saying that the club keeps pivoting and had no direction, and when you're there
they
all want to win, that's what happened. That's exactly, we've all been saying what's happened to our club. We don't know where we're going. So
Yeah,
I don't really have a strong opinion on that, to be honest. I don't really care. Like, they're both saying their piece. It's cool.
Yeah, I think it's one of the ones. I think you're right. I think it's what Rashford's saying there about, at least stick to a plan. We've had so many different managers. Absolutely true. I mean, this is why last season, and even people didn't want Eric to be sacked, right? Because they were like, I can't handle another reset. I can't have another, starting the cycle all over again. I totally get that. So what he's saying is true. But what Gary Neville's saying is there is also true in the sense of, Manchester United, that chapter's done for Rashford. Does he need to go on the Rest of Football podcast and talk about it? Yeah, maybe not.
They probably won't like it. The ex-pros are like, don't do that. You're still currently being paid by Man United. Well, they might have all your wages, but you're still Man United player. So
one of those ones, isn't it?
TH14 says, it's funny how working class people have problems with workers' rights, and y'all wonder how y'all bosses abuse and underpay you. Athletes are no different, which is what we're talking about.
Flex.
In terms of,
Flex.
That's literally what we're saying. We've literally just said Jadon Sancho wants his money. Like, that's his contract. That's
exactly.
Man United's fault.
Bosses, terrible. And that right?
Yeah. Don't get you your belts when you want them.
Exactly. Abused.
Tavra says, Flex get Owen on Dexter Daps, Movado, and Gaza Slim. There's your homework, Owen. 3 really good artists there. Two really good artists. Gaza Slim's more.
Oh, they're artists. I thought they were films.
No. Who's worse, Owen on the music thing or me on the superhero movie thing? Because Owen's up there, like, with what you're like.
Definitely music. Definitely me on music.
You ain't got a clue.
Definitely. I would not have a clue.
Right. At least fair enough. That wasn't even a contest. Yeah. Clive the designer says, Owen, I need to reload Best Friend again. They want to go listen to it now. You got them on it. They want to go reload it. And Gary Owen says, what are you guys thinking about Sky Sports' new music? Don't mind it.
Oh, have you seen the new Super Sunday thing? Have you seen the new Super Sunday? Or
I
haven't listened to it.
No. I saw I saw it on Friday and I saw it yesterday. Is it different on Super Sunday?
No, I think it's the same. I think it's all the same. It's a bit
when the players are walking in the tunnel. And it's loads of different players.
Oh, yeah. That one.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's all right.
Obviously, we're just used to the so iconic, you know what I mean?
It's not, let's make this moment last. That's the classic.
Yeah.
With a Ford car driving around, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but listen, things change. We'll get used to it, and then it'll be a thing in the past. Exactly. All right, people, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Flex and KG show later on today. And also, I was going to say one more thing. Oh, yes, check out Football Flex as well. I'm going to do a video on there shortly, probably about Eze's move to Spurs, 55 million bid gone in as well. Bid is in. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about that on there. So if you fancy that, follow me over there for later on. Take care. Laters, we're out of here. Peace.